Welcome to What's Cooking. I'm Rebecca Werner, the registered dietitian with the Hearts Beat Back. And tonight we have two very special guests coming up. Our first is Malcolm MacDonald. Malcolm, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're in my kitchen tonight?
Good question. Yeah, well, I'm here because I'm serving on Net Ministries. So I'm just serving a year in New Ulm on the school team. So me and my team were actually in Cathedral High School. We're there for the year and we're just doing campus ministry. So we're just there with all the high schoolers. We get to hang out with them all day. We teach classes and just spread the word of God to them. And it's just been a really great experience so far. So
good.
Yeah.
And Malcolm is actually my house guest for the next couple of weeks. So whether he wanted to or not, he'll be here cooking for you tonight. All right. So actually, Malcolm's going to be making his own lunch for tomorrow. So we've decided to come up with something that would be easy and yet heart healthy. So we're going to be making some homemade macaroni and cheese. And we're also going to be making some mini meatloaves. So I'm going to be doing the talking. Malcolm, you're going to be doing the work. You all right with that?
Yeah, that's totally fine with me.
All right, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to change up the direction of our mac and cheese just a bit. So as a filler and a protein base, which we don't normally get enough of in a mac and cheese, we're going to be using some cannellini beans. Now these are going to be high in protein and high in fiber, but they're also going to be a nice thickener to take out some of that cheese that we would normally use in the mac and cheese. All right, I'll get this going, Malcolm, and then you're taking over, okay? Because this is on my side. Yeah, sure. So, Malcolm, while I'm doing this, why don't you tell me a little bit more about NET and how you became involved in this program?
Yeah, sure. So Net Ministries has been around since, I think, 1982. So it's been around for about 33 years. So there's about 14 teams that go out and put on retreats across the country. So last year, that's what I did. I was on a retreat team. So I traveled around 20 states, put on 118 retreats, and went through the South, the West Coast, the North, and it was such a good experience, and I really felt like I was called to do a second year.
Great.
So
good.
That's how I got here.
Perfect. All right. It's going to get a little noisy. All right. Malcolm, here's where you take over.
Sure.
All right, the recipe is going to tell us to go ahead and we're going to put that in our pan. We're going to first coat it with a little bit of cooking spray.
Yeah. Sure.
And remember, this is going to be our protein, so it's going to be a filler and it's going to be high in fiber. So these are all components that are important in a heart healthy diet. Just twist that top right off.
Oh, there we go.
May not look good to start. Go right ahead. And we're just going to heat that up a little bit and let it thin out. Now, of course, we went ahead and boiled our noodles ahead of time. What we chose was a whole wheat pasta. This is going to get you all of those whole grains that you're looking for in a day. Although we're careful with the amount of pasta we do take in a day, a small amount, like one of these servings, is going to be just fine. All right, so as you go ahead and start thinning that out, Malcolm.
Yeah, sure. So I go like this?
Yep, you got it. And once it gets thin enough, then we're going to start adding some of these things in there, all right?
Sure.
Also, what we've chosen is a low-fat cheese. That's going to give us just enough flavor without all of the extra fat. Remember, when we're choosing things like cheese, this is a high sodium, high cholesterol food. So we do want to limit the portion or look for those 2% cheeses if possible. All right. We're going to choose about 1.5 cups of that. Now, you can get fancy and use different kinds of cheese as well. If you wanted to try a feta or maybe something like a skim mozzarella, that would go in there quite well too. Go ahead and add that one in, and we'll get another cup, and about another 1/2 cup there, Malcolm.
Sure. Another 1/2 cup.
Yeah. That'll give it a good eyeball. This is going to be a quick and easy way to make a filling meal. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do then, we're going to go ahead and add our garlic powder that's up there, as well as a little bit of paprika, if you can track that one down too. Yeah. Now these are just going to be our extra flavoring. As with all seasonings and herbs, you can add these to taste. So if you're a big garlic fan, Malcolm, you can go ahead and add in as much as you'd like.
I would put in the extra garlic because that is delicious.
Great. And now the paprika gives us a little bit of extra zing to it. You know, as I've mentioned many, many times, I don't like anything spicy, but paprika adds a nice little taste of flavor. And again, to taste. We don't have calories from these, but we like to add them to get that extra flavor. So we'll keep moving this around until that cheese starts to melt for us. Want to get it nice and creamy.
Wow, Wow, and this is going to become mac and cheese.
It
It's
is.
nothing like it.
We're not there yet, though. Give me a minute. So tell us a little bit more about where you're from and what you hope to do after you leave the net ministry.
Oh, yeah, sure. So I'm from Massachusetts, so
Okay.
I live about 45 minutes outside of Boston. So after I'm done with that, I just plan on going back, working. And during that time, I actually have this bagpipe band that I'm involved with because I play the bagpipes. And my band has been doing really well so far. We're the Worcester Kilty Pipe Band, and we're hoping to go to the World Championships in the next few years.
Great.
So that's all I'm just going to be aiming for after I'm done with that, and as well as just being involved with youth ministry at my
Great.
parish.
All right, if you want to grab that cup measurement, we'll start throwing in our pasta.
Sure.
All right, we're going to challenge you here, Malcolm. We got to keep that cheese moving too, so we don't burn it. So you're going to double
Oh,
task.
yeah.
You're going to multitask.
Oh, wow.
Okay, you're starting to boil here. So
Dang. So I should probably move this and then scoop at the same time.
all right, let's see if you can do it.
Wow, this is really challenging. There we go.
There you go.
And I just put it in.
Yep, go right ahead. We're going to add about 2 cups. So where did you learn to play bagpipes, or how were you introduced to such a unique task here?
Yeah, one of my friends played down the street, and I'm very, very Scottish, so
Okay,
that's all I was just really interested in it. It sounded awesome. I wanted to be involved, and I got hooked up with his bagpipe teacher.
Cool.
And I just started from there.
great. All right, looks like we could add a little bit more pasta. Now, pasta is going to be, our extender. So when we do that, we add more portions to this, and it's going to last a little bit longer, and we bring down the calories of the cheese, so that's a good thing. All right, Malcolm, this is looking pretty cheesy.
Wow, yeah, it's really awesome right now.
So it's kind of surprising that we went with these cannellini beans, and yet it still looks like not bad mac and cheese, huh?
I had no idea you put beans in mac and cheese, so
Well, you don't normally, but when you're being heart healthy, there's a trick for everything, right?
that's great.
All right. Well, we'll be right back with Malcolm's second recipe. All righty. Welcome back to What's Cooking. All right, Malcolm, you ready for recipe number 2?
Oh, totally.
All right, so let's start breaking it down. Our next one is going to be our mini meatloaves. Now, this is going to actually combine 3 different meats. So, we don't want to sometimes go with completely ground turkey. Some people find it not appealing, don't like the taste, and yet we don't want to go completely with ground pork, so we're going to do a little bit of a combination of 3 meats. We're going to use our ground beef, which is our 93% lean. We're going to use the ground pork, which is our little bit higher fat, and then we're going to use the ground turkey, which is very lean. Now, we did use the ground turkey breast. It's a little bit different than your regular ground turkey, so make sure you're looking for that at the grocery store. All right, Malcolm, you might as well get ready to get your hands dirty. We'll go ahead and put all 3 of those meats in the bowl. So we're using about 8 ounces of each of the meats. Now this is going to make for perfect portion sizes, and it doesn't take quite as long in the oven to make a meatloaf. So oftentimes it requires an hour and a half, even 2 hours to make a really good meatloaf. This is going to take less than 20 minutes, and that's always the goal. So what you're going to do is we're going to start kneading that up with our hands, and I'll throw the pork in there for you.
Oh, great. Awesome.
Yeah. Okay. And once Malcolm gets that all mixed up, we're going to add our 1 egg. Oftentimes people ask, why eggs? Are they that bad for our cholesterol? And what we're finding is it's really not as bad as what we once thought. Now remember too, 1 egg throughout this portion, we're actually going to get about 12 mini meatloaves. It's very, very small. It's not going to inhibit our cholesterol uptake at all. So that's going to be just fine for this recipe. How's that feeling?
Oh, great.
All right.
It's a little slimy.
That's good. That's a good sign. Get it all nice and mixed up. All right, so also with this one, we have a lot of variation. The recipe does call for quick oats, and I'm going to switch that up a little bit for some Italian breadcrumbs. This is going to add additional flavor, and it's going to be a little bit easier to use. So you can look for those right at the grocery store, easy to use and easy to put in there. All right, I think that looks pretty well mixed. Let's go ahead and you can add the egg, and you're going to go ahead and mix that right in with your hands too. So Malcolm, what have you thought of New Ulm and being here in the Midwest since you're from Massachusetts?
Oh, it's very German.
It is.
It's really awesome.
Okay.
small town feel, which is something I'm not very used to. See, I just grew up in the suburbs all my life, so it's really cool to be in a place that's different, where there's a lot of farming and agriculture and a really great community. You know.
Good, good. Now you'll be with us until May, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I think about halfway through May.
All right. Now every 2 weeks you get to go to a new house, is that right? And how is
Yeah.
that for you? Is it interesting? Is it
No,
a little
yeah.
nerve-wracking or?
I love it. It's really good. It's really awesome to be with the community and just really getting to know families a lot. So they're really everyone is so nice and so generous. So it's great to be able to get to know them.
Good, good. Well, we'll let you go ahead and step over. You can wash your hands now if you want. I think I've tortured you there long enough. You really didn't have to mix it that well, but I thought I'd leave you stand there.
How to go beyond perfect. So.
That's right. While Malcolm is washing his hands, I'd like to remind you that the Heart of New Ulm Project is always actively engaging in new programs. Our next program will be our holiday trimmings starting on November 23rd. This will be your opportunity to watch your weight and stay healthy through the holidays. Average Americans are going to gain about 5 pounds from Thanksgiving through the New Year's. So get on board with the Holiday Trimmings program and you can maintain your weight and stay heart healthy. All right, Malcolm, you're back to work.
Great.
Okay, so now we're ready to add about that third cup of breadcrumbs. So go ahead and put that in there. This is our thickener and it's going to help hold everything together, give it that little bit of extra flavor.
Do I put them in each?
Put it in there.
Oh.
We're going to keep on mixing. Okay, in addition to that then, now is when we can add just a little bit of milk, just about 3 tablespoons, so not much. That's good. You can add a little bit of parsley. It is better to use the fresh parsley, but when you're in a hurry or you're making a meal for a family, it's not always possible to add all of our fresh ingredients. So a little bit of parsley out of a jar is just fine as well. On top of that, then you can go ahead and add our Worcestershire. Are you a fan of Worcestershire?
Oh, I love Worcestershire, yeah.
Okay.
No, it's good.
Add away. And then you're going to go ahead and we're going to use our cooking spray to make sure our muffins don't stick to the pan. We're going to line the bottom of each tin with a little bit of ketchup for flavor. Okay, a little bit on each bottom of those. You're going to mix that all together and then we're going to start plopping them in there. You're a pro.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I've had some practice before.
Perfect. All right, so we'll mix that together. I did get you a spoon, actually. If you'd like to add the onion, you're welcome to go ahead and do that too. If you're not a fan of onion, that's an ingredient that can be skipped. It's not going to work on the binding or maintaining these together, so that's your call. Malcolm, would you like to add onion to this?
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead and dice that up if you'd like. I think you've got a knife over there.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay, I'll take over your mixing if you want.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so Malcolm, what's been your best experience so far in New Ulm?
Oh, geez. There's been a lot of cool things that we've done so far. Just checking out. Well, I had a team lunch with my team at Perkins. I don't know. There's been a lot of cool things. We've gone to like a farm with our host family and got to ride a combine. So
Okay.
that's something I'm totally not used to because we don't have farms in Massachusetts. I don't know. I have to think more about it.
All right.
Yeah, it's a really cool place.
Well, I'm sure you will tell everybody this was always your favorite host family from here on out.
It's been great so far.
Good.
Do you want me to keep ripping this off, or do I just?
Oh, you can start cutting.
Okay,
Yeah.
Cool.
The easiest way is go ahead and cut, and then it should just peel itself right off.
Oh, perfect.
There you go. And you can add as much or as little as you like. Other ingredients that would fit well in here, again, would be the garlic. Remember, that is good for heart health. You can use as much or as little as you'd like. It wasn't on your main ingredient list, but feel free to add those in. Other herbs and spices that would go well with this would be your oregano. Even basil would fit in here well. You know, you can really spice things up if you want. You can use a chipotle sauce or even a little bit of hot sauce in place of the ketchup. So definitely make it to taste and however you'd like it. All right. That looks like a pretty good amount too. So if you just want to make them a bit smaller, we'll just toss it right in there. Okay. And I always like to tell everybody a good knife is a sharp knife in the kitchen, keeps you safe. You know, we worry about kids grabbing into drawers or hurting themselves, but if we're working with a dull knife, we know that we're going to have to push extra hard and we lose our sense of balance with that. So making sure we keep an eye on that is very important. Malcolm, you have a little experience with knives, don't you?
Yeah, I used to work for Cutco, so I was a Cutco salesman for a while, and I had a lot of work with knives. I'm not a very good slicer, but I do my best.
But you know it was a good knife, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's important to use a good sharp knife, right?
Oh, so great, yeah.
All right. All right, so toss that in there as much as you'd like.
Oh, great.
We'll mix it in and we'll start putting those in. Now this recipe does make between 12 and 16 mini meatloaves. Our serving size is about 2 meatloaves, so it is a good portion of meat. It's going to be very satisfying, and yet it's going to be a quick way. Remember, as we talk about heart health, ensuring that we get our 7 to 9 fruits and vegetables in accordance with our Mediterranean diet is going to be important. So this is going to be your base. We would add a nice salad with this and make sure that we get lots of fruits and vegetables throughout the day. Protein is important as it keeps us full and sustains our glucose level throughout the day. So make sure you incorporate protein in every meal you're eating. All right, let's plop them in there and see how it goes. Yeah, that looks like a good size. Yep.
Oh, awesome.
Easy enough. Now, they're not muffins, so they're not going to expand over the top. So it's all right if they're a little bit above your muffin tin top here, so you don't have to worry about that too much.
Oh, just looks so good.
Do they smell good so far?
Yeah. The onions are getting into me a little bit.
That's why I had you do that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I'll take one for the team.
There you go. We know that with the pork and the turkey, you're going to have a very different flavor. It's, as I always like to mention, it's not just good or bad, it's just different. So if you haven't had ground turkey or the pork meat before, give it a try. You learn to love different things. Just as a child, we do not like salt. It's an acquired taste. We can learn to unlike salt as well. It definitely affects our blood pressure as well as fluid retention. So for your good heart health, start cutting back on your sodium and use great things like the herbs that we used here tonight. Yeah, these are going to turn out great.
Yeah.
Now the ketchup, the ketchup on the bottom isn't mandatory if you're not a ketchup fan, but it does add a little bit of extra flavor in there. Very low calorie snack that you can put in the bottom just for a little more flavor. I think we're going to turn out pretty close to just right, aren't we? We're getting there?
Yeah, really, really close.
All right. You good?
Yeah.
All right, now we're gonna do a little magic. So if these had gone into the oven, we know that they would come out looking pretty good. This is gonna be your final product right here. This is what Malcolm put together, and this is what we're gonna have in the end. You're gonna see these are gonna be great for taking along in a lunch, or they're perfect for when you're having company over and need an easy snack for people to share. So Malcolm, you did an amazing job.
Oh, great. Thank you.
This is going to be delicious. It's your own lunch for tomorrow, so if you don't like it, it's all on you, huh?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll eat it anyways.
All right.
It looks awesome.
All right. And that's it for this week's episode of What's Cooking. I'll see you next week.